Hello, good afternoon everybody, and welcome to this, what must be, our second live stream, our fifth time collaborating with Liverpool Football Club on this Safer Internet Day 2022. So welcome everybody, thanks very much for joining us. My name's Ken Corish, I'm Online Safety Director here at Southwest Grid, and I will be your voice host for the next hour across a whole range of different activities and presentations that we have for you, all focused around the SID Safer Internet Day 2020 theme around all fun and games. So it's a very, very strong focus around online gaming and the communities that grow up around those activities too. And we won't necessarily be talking about what sort of games are out there and how much fun they are and ask what games you're playing, but actually we're much more interested in the social aspect around games, because games now, we know, are not just single player things that you play on your own, but they are huge social activities. And so we're going to be focusing on those communities along the Safer Internet Day 2022 theme around how you build up and manage and empower yourself by gaining respect within these communities online, and how to manage those relationships too. Unusually this year we've split the next hour into two different sections, so between now and 2:30 we're going to be focusing on a lot of messages and resources that are aimed at our colleagues who are within the primary community, specifically towards roughly around Key Stage 2, but also around Key Stage 1 as well. And then after 2:30 we're going to go across to our secondary colleagues and look at some of the issues and the resources that are going to support young people in Key Stage 3 particularly, but also Key Stage 4, around empowering themselves as effective and respectful and relied upon online gamers too. So thank you very much for joining us. As I say, over the next half hour, this is what our agenda looks like. Coming up in this primary half hour, we're going to just remind ourselves about some of those Safer Internet Day messages from children across all four nations in the UK. And of course, because we're doing this alongside our partners, Liverpool FC, we're going to get a chance to not only meet the LFC mascot, Mighty Red himself, thank goodness, but also we're going to hear messages around the Safer Internet Day team from the players and the wider community around from Liverpool Football Club. Mixed in with this, we have resources and tips for teachers who are working around this particular theme, but also more broadly around digital literacy, online safety, media literacy, digital citizenship across the whole year. I've got my colleague Andrew Williams from the UK Safer Internet Centre and Southwest Grid to give us a little bit of his expertise in looking at particular issues for online gamers within Key Stage 2, and he's going to be focusing on the costs of online games that can rack up quite big bills amongst those. We're also going to dive into some of our resources that we have for teachers too, but we also have a competition too. And this year the competition is going to be split into two, primary and secondary, and everything that we're going to ask within the competition is based on what you see during this session. So keep your eyes and ears open. We are going to give you the answers, just like that TV show, we literally just told you. So and I'll give you a heads up when we get to those different sections so that you know that you've got to pay particular attention and watch what's happening on screen to be able to have a successful answer. So here we are. Here's our Safer Internet Day stream 2022. Let's take a dive in around children across all four nations across the UK and hear some of those tips and advice and guidance that they've brought up along our theme around respectful online gaming too.
We're here to talk about Safer Internet Day 2022, and the theme for this year's Safer Internet Day is all fun and games, exploring respect and relationships online.
This Safer Internet Day, we are thinking about respect and relationships online. Here are our top tips.
Use your actions and words wisely.
Be a kind and respectful online friend.
When emotions are high, take a moment.
Think about how your actions make other people feel.
Build healthy relationships.
Stay alert to possible dangers. Keep your personal information safe.
Be an upstander when you see bullying, harassment or hate.
Support the victims of these behaviours by offering help and advice.
Tell an adult if an online friend asks to meet up.
Look out for signs of unhealthy relationship.
Respect other people's boundaries. No means no.
Look out for suspicious information and people online.
Support others using safety tools like reporting or blocking. Help your friends to know where these are on the games you play together.
It's never too late to talk to an adult about something you're experiencing online.
What superb advice and guidance from a whole range of different young people around the UK. That leads us beautifully into the fact that we are partnering with Liverpool Football Club for this stream, and they've been great in providing us with lots of different content and messages. But of course, one of the big favourites that we have every year is Mighty Red. Now, I'm going to show you a series of different clips that Mighty Red has filmed for us, specially for this stream for Safer Internet Day 2022. And you need to look really carefully at what's going on in the videos. Now, one of my colleagues today said, I don't think children are going to be able to observe these. I think the question's too hard. It isn't. You've just got to look close. So make sure you respond to him by telling him what the right answer is a little bit later on. Here's Mighty Red. Well, there we are. Wasn't that amazing to see Mighty Red out in the sunshine there at Anfield? But I hope you were watching closely, because one of the questions that we're going to ask towards the end of the half hour concerns what Mighty Red was doing. So I hope you had your best observational binoculars on all of that too. Let's have a quick look around the primary resources that we have at the moment from the UK Safer Internet Centre. So if you're a teacher, an educator, a mentor, If you head yourself across to the saferinternet.org.uk site, under the Safer Internet Day tab, you'll find a whole range of brand new resources that have been engineered specifically to support you in the classroom on this day, and particularly focused around our theme of online gaming and relationships too. There's a whole variety of different resources there that include not only pupil materials, but they also include a lot of presentation materials for use on your whiteboard. There's a range of resources across a whole age group range for Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2, with really clear and complete lesson plans and activity guidance about how to run those too. So you might want to take a snapshot or a screen grab there to be able to capture that URL, but if you just do a search for Safer Internet Day Resources UK, you should be able to Google it and go straight there as well. On top of those resources, we also provide resources from Southwest Grid for Learning called Project Evolve. This is something that we've been working on for the past few years, and as well as online safety, it's a much broader set of resources that, while Safer Internet Day is just one day a year, these are designed to inform your whole wider primary curriculum too. It's free to sign up. You'll find it at projectevolve.co.uk, and here's a quick overview of what it contains. So you're well supported with a whole range of different resources, not only from the UK Safer Internet Centre site, but also from Project Evolve. It's worth your while just diving into those to go and see how you can extend Safer Internet Day activities across the whole year, and not just on one day a year. Bearing in mind that we're focusing on online gaming, our colleague from Southwest Grid for Learning, who's an expert within this area, Andrew Williams, has put together a lesson from one of those materials from Project Evolve around online gaming and online and in-app purchases as well. I hope you enjoy this. I'll leave it with you, Andrew. Thank you.
Hi there everybody, happy Safer Internet Day. My name's Andrew and I'm here today to talk to you all about purchases that we might make online and why some apps and games might request or indeed take those payment for extra content, what we call in-app purchases, or maybe even loot boxes, depends on the type of game you're in. So what on earth do we mean by an in-app purchase? Well, do you know when you're playing those games, you have those little pop-ups that come up and say you can get this, or you can buy this, or you can add this new little bit to the game. And sometimes they've got a number of coins next to them, or a number of pounds and pence that you need to pay for those. And those things that pop up and ask you to spend money in a game or an app are what we call in-app purchases, and you can buy all kinds of stuff. I bet you can talk to your teachers now and you can explain to them all the sorts of content that you might be able to buy in the games and apps that you play and use. And the really important question is, have you ever bought an in-app purchase? Have you ever gone into a game or an app and paid for something? What was that something? If you have time after we finished here today, perhaps you might like to have a chat with your friends and your teachers about the sort of things that you might buy in apps. So, I know I've bought things like skins in some of the games I've been playing. I bought like an outfit for my character, or I bought an extra weapon, or I bought the ability to go and do something really cool and exciting in the game. And often I've paid for that using a credit card. Now, credit cards, what mum and dad have in their wallets, and they use those when they're going out shopping, and you enter the card number and then you can buy stuff. But the problem with that is once you link a credit card account, sometimes they stay linked. So actually, because I'm an adult, that's okay. But for you as kids, one of the things that we think you should be using more of is gift cards, because gift cards have a limit to how much money you can spend. And that's a really good way of purchasing things online and not being able to spend too much money. And that's one of the problems that we do have around how you can buy stuff in games. There's loads of really positive things that you can buy in apps and games. I've gone in and bought the ability to remove backgrounds off different photographs, or a really cool filter. Or you might go and buy a pack of access to some music so you can learn how to play the guitar or something. So there's loads of ways in which it's perfectly cool to go in and buy stuff in games. But for some people, buying stuff in games and other apps can lead them to buying lots and lots of things, or being really annoyed by the fact they're constantly having this request to spend money. And sometimes when you go and spend money in games, it's really difficult to know exactly how much money you're spending, because you have to use an in-game or in-app currency. And it's really difficult to work out how much that currency is worth when you bought it with real pounds and pence that you might have spent. So, there are some positives and there are some negatives. It'd be really good if you spent some time after we finish today talking with a partner, a friend, or your teachers or parents about the type of things you buy or would like to buy in games, and what the implications and some of the risks and benefits of doing that are. I'm sure they'll be happy to listen to you after we've had such a cool session today, right? So, loot boxes are a really interesting thing as well. Now, loot boxes are those boxes that you buy in games. You spend an amount of money on the box and you hope that there's something really, really cool inside it. And if you've ever bought one of those, you probably know that most of the time you don't get something really, really good. In fact, it's by thousands of boxes to end up getting the guaranteed to have something really, really cool. So loot boxes are really interesting because they're exciting, right? You buy this thing and you're like, what's going to be inside it? And you can't wait to open it up. But more often than not, you're not really getting a good deal. You might be spending a lot of money on that loot box and having something pretty terrible inside it. So you've got to be careful about loot boxes. Now, some companies have now started to make their loot boxes transparent, like see-through. So you can see what's inside the loot box before you decide to buy it, but that's not always going to be the case. And whilst it can be really exciting and interesting to buy loot boxes, actually, you're probably better off going and buying the stuff without a loot box, just directly within the game itself, finding the right area and spending the money directly on the thing that you actually really want. I talked about gift cards before, and gift cards are a really good thing because sometimes they're limited to what you can buy. And it also means that you're just spending that amount of money on the gift card on the stuff that you're buying in the app or the game. And companies are really, really good at persuading us to part with our cash, persuading us to give them money. And by persuading, I mean like convincing or trying to get us to do something that we might not think about. And one of the things they do is they call this juiciness. They make the loot boxes, they make the way to buy stuff really, really exciting. It's flashy, it's bright, it might have sounds on it, it might have some effects that really, really grab your attention. And that makes it really difficult to ignore the fact they're trying to get you to spend money. When it comes to skins, sometimes if you're buying a skin and outfit for your character in the game or the app, it can be really difficult to know exactly what it is you're going to do. And we want our characters to stand out, absolutely. And perhaps rather than game playing and playing more and more time to get them, we're encouraged to just buy them with a loot box. But it's a bit unpredictable as to what you might get. So again, sometimes you're not always going to get the appearance you might want. It's interesting as well because you have this thing called the will to win. This is, what you want is you want your character, your player to be better, to be faster, to be quicker, to be stronger than your friends' characters. And, we don't want to work for that, right? We just want to go and get it from the store. So you're encouraged to go and buy that thing rather than earn that thing. And sometimes you get caught up in this race with your friends to have the best character possible. And oftentimes, companies will claim that you're going to get free loot. So you're going to get free stuff. So if you buy this 5 things, then we'll give you this 1 thing for free. And that, again, is just encouraging you to spend money. And the will to win, that need to keep up with your friends, is a bit like loot envy, because everybody can see what you get from your loot boxes. Sometimes we get a bit envious of what other people have had, and that might encourage us to spend more money. And that's what the companies are trying to get us to do. All they want us to do is spend more money in their game or their app, because then they get it. Now, sadly, it does go wrong. Sometimes we have situations occur when young people run up really, really big bills. Sometimes by mistake and sometimes on purpose, it depends. But whatever it is, somebody's got to pay that bill. And this is one news story that we found a little while ago of a dad who had a £4,642 bill for stuff that his daughter had bought in the game. And that's a huge amount of money. They had to cancel their holiday. It had really big implications for them. Now, they did eventually get the money back, but that doesn't always happen. And it doesn't always happen, particularly if it's a small amount of money. Gaming companies are only going to give you money back if you start getting the press involved, and it becomes a really, really big deal. So you've got to be really, really careful. And that's why I've said a couple of times already, I'm going to say it again now, is gift cards. Keep it to a gift card in-app purchasing or games, and that way you can only spend the amount of money you've spent on the gift card and no more. So I'm going to leave you with a little task that I would be really, really happy if you would carry on in your classes after today's session. After the amazing Safer Internet Day stream here that we're in, I want you to become a time-traveling advisor. I want you to imagine that you've got a time machine and you can go back in time and give the dad and daughter advice. So in that story, he connected his credit cards to the game and she made just a £5 purchase. And then a few days later, he noticed that she'd spent a lot more money, 99p here, £3 there, £4 there. And there's this big, long list of transactions that she'd made. So what 3 things or 3 tips do you think you might give them to help stop that occurring, to stop that situation, or to stop that amount of money being spent? Teachers, you might want to have a really good discussion about in-app purchases and games with your pupils, just to help them understand how this all works. And I'd love to hear the 3 things you've got on videos, posters, in a story, written down on a piece of paper, voice note. Stick them out there. Make sure that if you're going to share them on social media, you do that with your teacher's permission or on their account, and that you add the hashtag #SaferInternetDay. Thanks very much, everybody. Hope you have a great day.
Thank you, Andrew. Great advice and guidance there for us all. Now, as you are well aware, we are presenting this Safer Internet Day stream with Liverpool Football Club and our colleagues and friends up there. When we asked them what their advice and guidance was around online gaming, this is what they told us.
Make sure everyone knows where these are and how to use them on the games you play together.
Hi, it's Patrick Berger, and today I am supporting Safer Internet Day 2022. What you do, say and share online can have a big impact on the way other people feel. Be kind. Play your part online. You never walk alone.
Hi, it's Steve McManaman, and today I'm supporting Safer Internet Day 2022. Respect people's boundaries and enjoy online gaming safely. Play your part online. You'll never walk alone.
Do not push other people to do something that they're not comfortable with.
Hi, it's Missy Bo Kearns and today I am supporting Safer Internet Day 2022. Remember, it's okay to say no online and ask for help and support from the adults in your life. Play your part online. You'll never walk alone.
Look out for signs of an unhappy relationship.
If someone is pressuring you, is dishonest, or makes you feel uncomfortable, know you can always talk to an adult or friend that you trust.
Hi, Nico Williams here. Remember, there are always lots of adults who can help you decide if something's not true and can be trusted, like parents, other family members and teachers.
Thank you to our friends and colleagues there at LFC for giving us that advice. We also, of course, take advice from children and young people. And over the last few months, we've been travelling around all 4 nations of the UK to ask questions of children and young people and to get their advice and guidance on it. Here's a short piece that you can also download from the UK Safer Internet Centre website around what children and young people told us about solving some of the difficult problems that you face when you're in online gaming environments.
Take one.
My friend has been sharing negative things about themselves online.
Some people in their class have also been sending nasty and mean things back to them.
What should I do?
I would probably tell an adult, and once I've told an adult, I try to cheer my friend up, maybe take them to the park or something.
Maybe that's a sign of them being sad at home or being abused or a sign of depression.
Ask them if they're okay and if, with their permission, tell a trusted adult.
If they were bullying them, then you could tell them that what they're doing is not okay.
My friends want me to play a scary game.
That's meant for adults. But I don't want to. What should I do?
Just tell them no, because if you don't have permission from an adult, then you don't know what you could be playing and it couldn't be age appropriate.
Say no, sad to your mummy.
Just ask an adult for their opinion on the game, and if they say no, just tell your friends that your parents said no.
I would say no in a kind way and tell a grown-up to help me.
I love playing games online.
How can I avoid arguments with other people? Maybe you could, if you get into an argument, take 5 minutes before you reply.
Take a moment before you respond and think about what you would say if you were being your best self and try to do it in the most polite way possible.
Instead of just going straight up and shouting at them, give yourself a minute to just cool down and then it'll all be fine.
Great advice and guidance there from young people themselves about how they would sort out their particular issues and problems. So as well as all those resources that we've pointed you towards on the UK Safer Internet Centre site, on the Southwest Grid site and Project Evolve, my colleagues and experts at Southwest Grid for Learning have begun to put together quite a huge gaming resource on the site. You'll find it at swgfl.org.uk/topics/gaming. But here's a short summary in the form of a film that you can download from that particular site that will give you some quick tips and ideas around how to stay safe and be an effective and empowered online gamer, whether that's within the game itself or within your gaming community. you have it. We're almost at the end of our primary half hour now, and of course the big thing you will have wanted to see and been waiting for was our competition. To win one of 10 exclusive Liverpool Football Club goodie bags that have been packed up for us by the team at LFC, all you need to do is think back to what you were looking at when you were watching Mighty Red in his videos there, and tell us what was written on the dugout chair that Mighty Red sat on in the video. What was written on the dugout chair that Mighty Red sat on in one of the videos there at Anfield? And if you think you know the answer, send your answer in an email to our email address there, SID22, that's Safer Internet Day 22 at saferinternet.org.uk, and try to get it to us by this Friday, so that's Friday the 11th of February 2022. Once we've got the emails, we'll pick 10 randomly from the list of correct answers, and the club will get them over to you wherever you are. So good luck with the competition. Thank you so much too for joining us for this first half hour in primary. We're now going to move across to our secondary colleagues as well. You're perfectly welcome to stay and watch this too as well. In fact, we'd be delighted if you wanted to come and join us too. Thanks for being here, and happy Safer Internet Day. Hello, welcome back to the Safer Internet Day 2022 live stream from the UK Safer Internet Centre and Liverpool Football Club. And if you're just joining us as a secondary, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. Our key theme for Safer Internet Day 2022 is around online gaming underneath the tag All Fun and Games. And in specifically, we're looking at the way that relationships are built online in terms of online gaming groups, and also to looking at how to build respectful relationships that empower you and draw people towards you and make you a more effective and better online gamer, more valued online gamer too. Across this section, we'll be looking at a reminder around what the key messages are around online gaming for Safer Internet Day for Key Stage 3 and Key Stage 4. We'll get the opportunity to meet with the Mighty Red, who's the LFC mascot, and also to be able to visit some of our colleagues and friends at LFC to hear some of those advice and guidance. There's also a very specific Safer Internet Day session for Key Stage 3 led by one of our experts at Southwest Grid for Learning, Andrew Williams. And 2, you'll have the opportunity to enter a competition to win one of 10 Liverpool Football Club exclusive goodie bags in the competition later on. Let's make a start really with what the key messages are around Safer Internet Day gaming for secondary people.
There are many things Mum knows more about than I do, but gaming definitely isn't one of them. If only she would pick up a controller for once, she'd see how I can keep myself safe. After all, she always brought me up to be honest. I don't know about my age and don't know what content is appropriate for me. Though some people in the virtual world aren't trustworthy, I'd never give out my personal details, and I'd always talk to her before meeting up with online friends. Not that I'd want to with some of these toxic gamers. It's easy for bullies to hide behind a headset. That's why I don't take trash talk seriously. And I wouldn't say anything online that I couldn't say IRL. That means in real life, Mum. If someone did upset me, or something did go wrong, Mum would be the first person I'd tell. She'd help me report the harsh comments or the mean users, and sort out all that difficult stuff, so I can carry on having fun and winning with my mates. You never know, maybe she'd have an amazing time too, but to keep gaming safe, we all need to play our part. Maybe I should give Mum that controller. and maybe she could start the conversation.
You know what? You're never too old to have an adult on your side when things kick off and go wrong. So, rely on parents. They're very good at being able to sort out and support and guide issues, particularly if they're social issues that have kicked off as well too. So as well as the sessions we've got planned, also we have on our Safer Internet Day website a whole range of different resources specifically aimed at secondary, Key Stage 3 and Key Stage 4. These are very different than previous years because there's a lot wider set of materials there too, that not only include quizzes and activities but also student materials as well for them to engage in it, and also a full set of assembly scripts that are relevant to secondary, including all of the presentation resources that you need. You'll find them at saferinternet.org.uk. Just navigate your way through to Safer Internet Day, part of that website, and you'll find these resources. They're all freely downloadable in a whole variety of different formats as well. But as well as those resources, you may be looking for resources beyond Safer Internet Day, and we've developed a resource that is specifically aimed at a wide age group from very young children right the way through to 18, and it's called Project Evolve. And Project Evolve is a free resource. You'll find it at projectevolve.co.uk, and we're trying to encourage more and more secondary schools to engage with what we think is a resource that has real breadth. Not only does it cover some of the messages that we're talking about here in terms of online safety, but also digital literacy, digital citizenship, media literacy. If you're looking for resources to support your PHSE curriculum, your RSE curriculum, navigate your way to Project Evolve. Here's a quick overview of what Project Evolve actually contains. So if you're interested in Project Evolve and diving into some of those resources, our next secondary session is with our expert consultant, Andrew Williams, who's going to be talking about positive online relationships. We hear a lot about this, don't we, in terms of being positive online, but how do you actually achieve it and still remain cool and empowered? Andrew's going to talk us through what positivity actually means within online gaming environments. Over to you, Andrew.
Hi there, everybody. Happy Safer Internet Day. My name's Andrew. I'm here to talk to you about the importance of online relationships and keeping them positive. So I want to try and give you some thoughts around how to make positive contributions and how positive contributions can affect change in online communities. Well, I guess first of all, what we've got to do is try and work out what do we mean by positivity. Now, you know what, it's pretty easy, I guess, in some respects to kind of work out, yeah, well, that's going in a positive direction, that's going something better, that's not negative. But, you know, what does that translate to in terms of the characteristics of a positive person? You know, what are positive people actually like? What do they do, and how do they behave that makes them different? I think some of the examples that we might think around that are perhaps some of the respectful behaviours that they might exemplify to other people, how they might demonstrate the positivity by the respect that they show not only adults or those who are older than them, but also people who've got really, really good ideas, people who are the same age as them, people who are younger than them. All of us can display respect in a number of different ways to anybody we interact with. Lots of positive people often want to make a difference. They're genuinely committed to the idea that what they are doing is going to have an impact on whatever it is they're trying to change, be it climate change, be it LGBTQ plus issues in the school, whatever it is, they genuinely want to try and impact in a positive way to improve the situation that they're currently seeing themselves in. Positive people often see the good in others and in the situation, so they're really keen to look for the good and the positive behaviours that other people exhibit, and they have quite strong morals or values. Often positive people like to make people around them feel good, and they have an impact on people, whether they intend to or not, that makes those other people feel good. And often positive people generally tend to be really good at problem solvers. So positivity can mean a whole different range of things. It's got that ability, that growth mindset to look to something, to identify a problem, to look at that problem and not be overcome by fear at the size of the problem, but rather to break down the problem into smaller pieces and to look in a positive way at how they can start to change that problem into a more positive situation for everybody. Often a positive person isn't just looking at it from their own eyes, they also have strong empathy and they can understand the situation from other people's eyes as well, and that helps build a broader understanding of what the issue is and helps them to make that change more readily. So, you know, is there a benefit for this? You know, why should we be concerned about being positive? Well, you know what? It's a fascinating little thing, this is that lots of people who volunteer, who do good for the community, talk about how it has not only a positive impact on them as an individual, that kind of warm feeling they get from knowing that what they are doing is having a really good change for somebody else. But it also can positively impact upon people who are immediately around them as well, because that sense of warmness, that sense of ability and strength means that other people around them also look at them and go, wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I want to feel like that. That feels like a really, really good thing to do. So the individual often gets respect as a consequence of their behaviors. They are more trustworthy or more trusted by other people. And they often have more meaningful relationships with other people around them because they're able to see that issue from somebody else's shoes. They're able to have that empathy and see the problem and break it down. That often strengthens their relationship that they can have. Generally speaking, positive people are happy in life. They've got a good outlook, they're liked, they're approachable. And what that means, all that amazing positivity and that amazing ability to be positive in the face of what can be quite challenging circumstances or problems rubs off on other people, and it makes other people feel supported. It uplifts their spirits as well. They can feel refreshed and positive themselves and their stress. This has a really amazing ability to shift not only how we individually feel and the positivity that we have towards life and situations that we find in life, but it also rubs off on other people around us, and it can bring those people along on the journeys. And that's why for some people they are so successful at effecting change, because they're able to see that problem, tackle it positively, and because they're tackling it positively, they naturally drag along other people with them. Not kicking and screaming, but actually who want to be in that space with that individual, with that thought leader, with that positive person, because they know that positive person has got the ability to change the situation that they are in. So What's it like for you when you interact or you have discussions with other people online? How do you interact? What's the main way that you interact online? Now, ideally, we have a little discussion around that now, but I guess we can't do that. So perhaps you want to have a discussion with your teacher at another opportunity, or with your friendship group around what's the important network for you? What's the important app or platform that you need, or that you feel you need to interact with others online? And when you're thinking about that platform, what do you think about the interactions that happen within it? Are they generally positive, or are they generally not? And can you give me an example of that? So what you might find is that you're on Instagram, and you know that on Instagram you can create an account with any name that you like. So some people are able to hide behind that, I don't like the term, but fake Instagram profile, and they feel they can say or do what they want. Another positive situation from being online is it's easier to find people who've got similar interests to you, because you're connecting with a much wider and larger number of people. So, what's your feeling? Are we generally positive, or are we generally not positive online? Do you feel empowered to make a change to that feeling of positivity or negativity online? So here you go. Here is 3 platforms where discussions might take place. What are your top 3 tips for ensuring a positive experience? So what would you do in a game discussion with somebody you don't know to ensure that you and they had a positive experience? Now, sometimes it can be easier to think about this from the negative first, because that then helps you understand what the positive is. So what you don't like to happen within an in-game discussion, and then you can use that to understand what you do want to happen. So it might be things, I suppose, like, well, you wouldn't use offensive or hateful language towards the other person, because obviously that wouldn't make the environment to be particularly positive. So that could just be one of your top tips. Is it you like to use the person's name? Some people like to do that. They like to use the individual's name because that makes them feel like that you know who they are. So, maybe those are 3 ideas. And what about in group discussions with friends then? How do group discussions with friends work, and how can you make those more positive? Some of you might be lurkers. You might just be in the group discussion, but not very often engage with it in a sense, or in a meaningful sense. So can you affect change if you don't regularly engage? And what might that change be that you want to see? I don't know, if 2 of your friends start kicking off at each other and they're using really bad language within that group discussion, is it okay for you to go in and say, actually, you know what, I'm not sure that language is the right language to be using. I think we need to just kind of step back a little bit here, guys, and calm down a bit. Is that a strategy for managing group discussions? Or do you just mute the app and you stop it from sending you notifications, so that way you get that chance to just have a break from the conversation and think about what's going on before you go and engage? I think for me it's quite challenging on the social media feeds as well, because they're quite to update and people's conversations move really fast, and because you've got that anonymity that's afforded to you by the accounts, by the fact you can make up account names, some people will use that to say negative things about others. So those comments can really quickly escalate on a social media feed. So what's your top 3 tips for maintaining a positive social media feed? Do you block and report everybody who says something you don't like? Or do you call them out? Or do you engage and activate with a big group of others and call them out collectively? Now, what's your strategy for working? It'd be really, really good if you could share those strategies with your friends, or in a class or lesson, where you could have a discussion around relationships and the importance of being positive and maintaining positive relationships in online spaces. On this page here, you can see a list of some of the different strategies that you can intervene in relationships, in situations where it's not going quite so well online. They give you a number of different things, some of which I've said already, and I haven't said things like adding humour, or making others feel valued, or just being polite, not getting personal. So some of those tips and ideas might be really helpful to you in supporting your friend networks and your relationships and your engagements online to becoming more positive. Because as you've seen, we've outlined it today, and it's loads and loads of research out there supporting that if you are positive, then other people who are around you will be positive too. So if we want to make the world a positive place, then one of the things we can do is start being more positive ourselves, and then we'll start bringing others along with us, and they'll have a bigger impact on making the web a more positive environment. Now, what we'll do is we'll make available these slides to you and your teacher, so you can use these last few slides to have a really interesting discussion, if you like. What would your tactic be to change the tone and restore positivity in all of these different situations? It would be great to hear and see some of what you're doing online. So if you'd like to post that using any of the social medias, and if you'd like to use the hashtag Safer Internet Day, we'd really appreciate seeing some of the things that you're talking about and some of your suggestions for how you might successfully intervene in these channels. What I'd like to do is set up a fake online platform in something like Padlet with your teacher supporting you, and have a little drama activity where you act out some of those situations and try different interventions and see which works and see which people seem to respond most positively to. Thanks very much for your time today on Safer Internet Day. Hope you have a great rest of day, and we look forward to hearing from you and about all the things you're doing soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Andrew. Great advice there. Let's nip around all the 4 nations and see what secondary students think about Safer Internet Day 2022 and what are their tips and advice.
Gaming is important because of the social element. It's a form of escapism and you can develop useful skills.
Gaming's important to me because it's a nice way to relax after a long day of school.
I enjoy gaming because it's so much fun.
It helps my mental health and it helps me socialise with my friends, and over the past 18 months it has really helped me basically become a better person myself, because I haven't been really confident.
Thank you everyone for contributing that advice and allowing yourselves to be filmed by our team as we went across all 4 nations of the UK to talk to children and young people. Well, as you know, our partners and our willing partners in all of this has been our 4th or 5th collaboration with Liverpool Football Club on Safer Internet Day. We went to their community, to their players and to their stars to go and get some advice and guidance around what they think is the right approach to online gaming.
Hi, it's Jamie Carragher, and today I am supporting Safer Internet Day 2022. Remember, it's okay to say no online and ask for help and support from the adults in your life. Play your part online. You'll never walk alone.
Respect other people's boundaries. No means no.
Hi, I'm John Aldrich. I'm supporting Safer Internet Day 2022. Remember, it's okay to say no online and ask for help and support from adults in your life. Very, very important. So play your part online and you'll never walk alone. Take care.
Hello, Robbie Fowler here, and today I will be supporting Safer Internet Day 2022. What you do, say and share online can have a big impact on the way other people feel. So make sure you play your part online, and more importantly, be kind. You'll never walk alone.
Listen to and support your friends online and offline by respecting their boundaries and treating them with kindness.
Make sure everyone knows where these are and how to use them on the games you play together.
Hi, it's Megan Campbell and I'm supporting Safe Internet Day 2022.
Thank you so much to the stars and players who supported Safer Internet Day. We really put out a big thank you to Liverpool Football Club for engaging with us. And back to Liverpool, as I said before, Mighty Red is the LFC mascot. And actually, if you're interested in winning one of 10 Liverpool Football Club exclusive goodie bags for Safer Internet Day 2022. I advise you to watch these few videos really closely, because our competition question is going to be based on what you see in the next few minutes. I'll leave you in the capable hands or wings of Mighty Red. Well, I hope you're watching closely, because after the next few films, we've got our competition question as well. My colleagues have been working very hard at Southwest Grid for Learning to develop even more resources around online gaming. Here's a film that you can download and find at swgfl.org.uk/topic/gaming, that along with a whole host of other in-depth advice and guidance around online gaming, how to manage it, how to form good online relationships with online gaming communities, and how to build respect and a reputation online. Here's our film. So we're nearly there, and here we are at our competition time. So to win one of 10 LFC goodie bags exclusively packed for Safer Internet Day by the teams at Liverpool Football Club, all I want you to do is to think back about across those Mighty Red films that you've just seen, and I want you to write down the name of the 3 players whose goal celebrations Mighty Red mimicked and performed for you on screen. Just write down the names of the 3 players whose goal celebrations Mighty Red mimicked and performed for you on screen. When you think you've got those 3 names, send them in an email to us to SID22, that's Safer Internet Day 22, at saferinternet.org.uk. That's SID22 at saferinternet.org.uk. And try to get them to us by this Friday, so that's Friday the 11th. It says September there. That's completely wrong, isn't it? That should be February. Friday the 11th of February for a chance to win one of those bags. So you've got a couple of days. And remember, the film will be online, so you can go back and have a look at them if you want to. And there we are. Listen, thank you ever so much, everyone, for joining us for the last hour, whether you were primary and are still on the feed, or you're secondary and joined us for the last half hour. Thank you very much for joining us on the feed. I hope there was something there for you that was interesting and useful, or perhaps inspired you at all. And I'd like to say a huge thank you to the team who are in the background, not only at UK Safer Internet Centre, but at Southwest Grid for Learning, and of course, all our friends and colleagues in the wider community at Liverpool Football Club, who every year turn up trumps for us and give us great content, great advice, great support. If they're on board, we'd love you to be on board too. And that's it from a very old gamer like me, Ken Corish, signing off. I'm doing a big mic drop, and I'll see you some point in the verse. Take care. Thank you ever so much for joining.